Welcome back. It's Pascal Odibo that joins us next, a business and financial consultant, to let's get his perspective on the budget. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you guys. Merry Christmas in advance.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And by the way, congratulations on your new, your 10th award. I mean, that's the 10th one, right?
Yeah, thanks. Thank
Thumbs
you.
up for you guys.
Many
Thank
thanks.
you, thank you. And then to this budget, wherein basically about income, expenditure, how is it going to affect people? They target the budget to change. You see things changing with this budget?
It should. Let me put it this way. I was quite excited that the president addressed the joint session of the National Assembly. And he did say that it was not just to, and I believe him, it was just not just to lay the cost to be laid, really, the budget of the Federation for the year 2016, but also to engage the people, as it were, to put them there. I think that when the president came into power, we've been seeing we've seen him play at the home turf. As a military person, he's been tough on the Boko Haram front. He's been tough on corruption and recovering, of course, which we know him for. But for the first time, I began to see the civil side of a stern Buhari, which is what the business community has been looking for. We wanted to see the complexion of his administration economically.
So what exactly did you see?
I think he's beginning to understand that the business of governance is a juggle. You juggle things. It's not just I finish Boko Haram, then I do corruption, then I do no, it doesn't work that way. It is a plethora of activities. That's why leadership is critical. Ability to be able to handle different balls at the same time. The president of Tanzania, they just left office, said he didn't sleep throughout his 10 years. Didn't sleep well. That's why you need men of sagacity, men of vision, and men of strength.
But that's not what Manufacturers Association of Nigeria are saying. They are complaining bitterly about some of the policies lately. I've not got into what the policies, what the MAN are saying. I'm only saying that I'm seeing him communicate now, which is important to hear what is his proclivity. And that is by
headed?
reason of him going to lay the budget before the National Assembly.
And the things he's saying, we're going to communicate, we're going to invest in these areas. It enables the private sector to take position. That's how they work. That's how this will work. Government gives direction, then people will take position, and in taking this position, you reflect the system.
So what do we do?
So when you hear, and then if you go to the integrity, when you hear say, government is going to create jobs, I always laugh at the back of my mind. Government does not create jobs. How many jobs will you create? The last you would do is do your normal handout. And I've told you here, you do not solve a problem by shooting money at it. It will swallow it. Reflect the system, have the people who know what to do, which is the private sector. Develop the system, and then you hire your people.
I'm quite sure a lot of people will see meanings in what you've just raised. Be a good ball juggler without dropping any of the ball.
Yeah.
But the job creation issue, let's look at the aspect where he said about 500 graduates can be employed into the teaching service. And just yesterday, Professor Bello asked a big question. What about those who are not graduates, that are jobless?
And that's why I keep saying the artisans, and I'm sure that's the level you're talking, have to be engaged by certain infrastructural work. Example, power. So when you're speaking and laying the budget of this nature, I'm looking for the macro issues, big ticket items that will enable people to run. Guys, if the power works, Fashola has come up to lay his, by the way, Fashola and what's his name, Odotimi, and we need to hear the other ministers. They need to articulate their. I hope that with this, which is what I was trying to say, that this is a statement. When this passes is a law, So that gives you almost like a certainty as to where government is headed.
Right.
So people can now say, okay, you know what? We'll plug in into this area.
Okay.
We're going to...
Let's sink our teeth into the budget.
Okay.
What strikes you in that 6.08 trillion naira budget?
I think that this is the largest budget we've ever had.
Is this sufficient for you? Because Jide says, look, we should have maybe say 10 trillion naira.
No, it's a good departure from the past. I think this is, it should be bold, if you ask me. This is bold, slightly different. I'm looking at where the deficit, when you borrow to invest. Whenever you borrow to finance your recurrent, you're in trouble. I mean, as a finance
Is that what we're doing?
Well, let me explain, then you can take your piano. You borrow to invest. Let's take first principles, common sense. You borrow to invest in things that will generate income, enable you pay back, and allow surplus. Any other thing, you'll be in this spiral for a long time. So my take is that, the 2.2 trillion naira they want to fund, it means that the banks are going to be busy. So you see what I'm looking at for? They are going to do a euro bond, which is of course bond that is denominated in foreign currency, and DMO should be active to fund the gap. Now, these are the things that, banks now will take the position, will not be able to get capacity.
Let me follow up on this before we go further, because if you say the banks will be active, because there are many...
They're going to fund the deficit.
Yeah, because the current state of the banks now, not maybe for want of words, encourage it. For those who do that kind of direct daily banking, many are also complaining about how they also need to access their funds. I'm talking about internationally now. But then, if you say the banks will be active, already there's that complaint about banks not performing the core function of banking. The SMEs, access to credit for agricultural purposes. So when you say they're going to be active, is it going to depart from what?
This is an incentive for them. This is government lending, so they will go for it with both hands. What they're speaking about is SME finance, microfinance, and all that. And my take on that is clear. Any bank that does not get into retail will be singing its non-dimitters unless you have a better strategy. Because a lot is the market is there. Okay, all you just need to do is to get the SMEs to a place of capacity. Really, what drives SME is market power. I see most of them doing a lot of training and capacity for the people, which is okay. But you know what? If the economy does not suck in what they produce, they won't be able to pay back your loan.
When you talk about what we produce, perhaps we should start looking at this particular budget again. When Chumale asked what strikes you for this in this budget, for some it is moving away from the oil, yes, which we even you have been here all of the time to say we should diversify. Do you see the picture after implementation of that? I mean, after the approval of this particular budget, give us the needed boost that we've always wanted to move away from an oil-driven economy?
Ross, there's no choice.